All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the streaming. Storm, Lucky Larsen, Masters 2025. We are back on track, and this morning I have a very fun person to talk to. One of my best friends up here, super talented bowler, responsible, or one of the responsibles on the Swedish Bowling Academy, and great talent, great friend. Pontus Andersson, good morning, welcome.
Hello, hello.
How are you
Thank.
doing, buddy?
I'm all good. Thank you for the kind words.
Yeah, absolutely. You just arrived to Helsingborg,
Uh,
right?
yes, we arrived this morning, like you mentioned. Today, I'm here as a coach for the Swedish Bowling Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we have 13 students of the students going the senior year, bowling the squads, and a couple of them are bowling the next squad as well.
That's nice. So we can expect to see a lot of talent on the lanes, a lot of young talent on the lanes. We have also a couple of PBA guys already showing up in the morning. Actually, one of them is on the top of the score after 2 games, which is Ethan Fury, another young talented. I guess it's going to be a very good example for many of the kids of the schools that they can bowl nearby Ethan.
Oh yeah, he. When you look at him bowl, he's just like example for how you want it to look like. Like it's very smooth, and when the lanes gets as hard as it is here, it looks very good.
He looks very solid, and I must say, the first time I saw Ethan, it was obviously online. I don't travel to the PBA events, but when I saw him making shots, it was the first time I said to myself, "Okay, that is no longer just pure talent. That is no longer I grab the ball with 2 hands and I go for it. It kind of gives me a look like it was if you could have a hybrid between the old school bowling and the two-hander style. That's what it would look like."
Oh yes, correct. And like he's because he's so smooth with it, but still is bowling with 2 hands. I think he's gonna be definitely a top contender this week to finish very high.
Oh yes, I agree. Yesterday we saw him trying a few things. He was kind of lofting the ball a little bit into deep in the lanes because for those who have not been watching before, the pattern is quite demanding. It pretty much takes you away from the corners right from the start. You don't want to be anywhere close to the gutters on any of the sides, so the lane is a lot tighter. People is bowling quite deep inside already at the warm up, so the more they bowl deeper and deeper, it burns out pretty quickly. So yesterday we saw Ethan trying to avoid that traffic by lofting the ball a little bit, but every single one who has tried this, I would say perhaps only Nate managed to do that yesterday by throwing harder. But if I look at the results, everybody who has succeeded to bowl quite well, it was kind of moving back to the old school, a little bit of less lifting, a lot more rolling, let the ball do the job instead of forcing the ball to do the job. And that's what Ryan Barnes did, for example, yesterday compared to the day before. He had a lot weaker hand position. He was letting the ball slide through the lanes instead of forcing it to do that. And what I saw by the end of the squad on Ethan, even if he had been traveling and he just arrived yesterday with the jet lag and all the energy obviously gone because it's impossible to rest properly on the plane and such long trips. But he already was doing on the very last game this kind of motion of becoming a lot more smooth, which is also, I think, it's more his A game. And this morning he showed up here. He's already shooting 57 over after a couple of games. For those of you watching, let me see where is Ethan at the moment so we can tell you which camera you need to look at.
17-18.
17-18 actually. Thank you, buddy. And yeah, absolutely, it's looking pretty solid. Now, Pontus, what do you see on the lanes? What do you think is going to happen during the this squad? Because we see a lot of younger kids. I saw some of them trying to throw some urethane at the beginning. I don't think that's the equipment you want to use in these conditions. But due to the format that we have, the lane where you have been doing the warm up, it's where you're gonna end up bowling on the last game. So, what do you think is going to be the traffic today? We have seen a very high games on the first couple of games, then 3 and 4, and I'm talking generally, and every single squad 3 and 4 has gone down. like really, really crazy. So, what do you think is going to happen with all your young boys over there on the lanes? How are they going to survive this kind of traffic and
S-
transition?
So basically, what we did when we found out about the pattern was to, well, break it down, like look at it. What is it really saying? And we can start with seeing that it's 44 feet. That
Hmm.
tells us that we're gonna stay closer to the pocket. But if we really look at the pattern, it's a lot of the oil that is on the lane is right before the arrows,
Exactly.
and that's gonna make the ball just go like super fast in the beginning, but then it's like no oil at all, so it starts hooking pretty early.
So it's about controlling the middle lane,
The
most of it.
Yes, and then it actually uh, buffs a little bit slower at the end, so it puts down less oil, and it's a little bit of drop brush, which means that it's gonna get even drier in the back part of the lane. So everybody sees a lot of transport the first part of the lane until the arrows, and then the ball just starts hooking. And compared to what we're used to bowl on with tournaments, it's usually more transport down the lane and then it hooks. So this is definitely a new experience for a lot of the bowlers.
It's going to be quite interesting to see how they manage to survive on this kind of traffic and lane condition. And as you very well said, we, especially in Europe, we have been seeing a lot of parents lately with where urethane is like the biggest piece you can use. It's what's working best for the kids, and especially all these younger guys. They grip the ball so much, they produce so much speed on the legs that they can do whatever they want on gripping the ball. And the urethane balls, they really like you when you grip them strongly. But this pattern, it seems to be that you require the opposite of that. You require to go a little bit like we did in the past, back in my days, where it was everything about the follow through and just trust the ball, let the ball do the job for you. When the ball was not working, just go for the next one.
Yes, I really think the smoother bowlers are gonna do better this week than compared to the one that likes to rip the shit out of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think we have a few people already talking on the chats. We're gonna say hello to everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the commentaries and streaming online. Let me remind you, we're asking everybody to sign up on the subscribe on the YouTube channel because it's the only way for us to keep it for free. It's going to be a lot of content, not only during the whole week. We're going to give absolutely every single frame of the event, but also during the year, it's going to be the transmissions of the PBA Sweden regional. It's going to be some of the matches of the Swedish league, which is electrifying. I've heard that this year you went down from 12 teams to 10 teams only on the Swedish league.
Yes, so it's gonna get even tighter to
I
get
was
those
going to
final
say
spots.
it's gonna be even more electrifying than it usually is.
For sure.
Pontus, you made it already into the final, even
Uh,
without bowling, just because you won one of the PBA regionals.
yes,
Was it?
correct.
Yeah.
And when I won that one, that was back in February, so it's a long time ago. And then you thought, oh, it's great, I made the cut. But now when the week is finally here, it's so nice to already be in the cut.
Yeah, especially
It's
when you see how
when
people is
yes, when I
suffering on the lanes. It's like, okay, at least I'm one step in there already.
yeah,
But you got a buy for step one. So if
yes,
you want to make
correct.
it into step two, you're gonna have to bowl, hit the lanes no matter what.
Yes, I'm gonna bowl on Friday,
Uh,
and this week has been very easy to watch how the people are bowling. Like I said, it looks like it's the smoother bowling style that the pattern demands.
hmm
So it's kind of what I've been practicing on throughout the week. See what kind of different balls is going to work out. So yeah, it's
It's
going to be
gonna it,
exciting for sure.
it's gonna be fun to watch because I can recall you also like to grip the ball.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's why it's very important for to make good decisions with the balls I bring here, and really be aware of that my misses maybe be to be a little bit smoother than actually grip the ball.
Mm. Have you spoken to some of your teammates in Team Sweden?
Yes, a couple of them, and they are just saying the same thing.
That's why I was asking because I've heard them. We going back home. We're gonna grab some different equipment and
Yes,
we'll be back.
and a lot of them just want smoother ball motion in
Mm.
general because usually what has a tendency of when we don't figure stuff out is to put more surface on the ball, and that puts more control on the lane, and then it usually works out when it's harder, right? But this is kind of the opposite.
Yeah,
You
it doesn't.
actually want a little bit more shinier balls, but still with control that makes you hit the pocket an extra time instead of maybe 2 a10 or just right for the face.
It was one of the things we were talking yesterday. No, sorry, 2 days ago when I had Andrew Anderson and Francois Leroy. We were talking a little bit on the streaming, and I said I'm not gonna bowl. I have some issues with my health at the moment that doesn't allow me to bowl. But if I were to bowl on this event, we usually spend a lot of the warm up once we find the area we want to bowl on. We usually grab, a little bit dollar ball, move outside, do some room on the outside. But on this one, on this case, I would actually do the area the opposite way. I said I would grab the spare ball, move 7 to the left, make the lane longer. So when I come back at the very end of the squad, at least I can have some hold on a little bit of a deeper area. And that's one of the mistakes I think some of the young ones are doing, as you very well described. We are so used to, or they are so used to, really gripping the ball and just moving left and make the ball go faster and harder and adapt that way, that this pattern is actually confusing some of them. They see the lanes is a little bit tough, so they start grabbing even stronger balls. They have been using a super aggressive copper stocks and super strong cores, and then I can see how they suffer to try to make the ball cross the middle of the lane, and it's very hard for them because they can make a couple of strikes, but as soon as the speed is a little bit different, the target is a little bit different, it's not a 9 spare anymore. It's a 6 split, 5 split, stuff like that. Some of the kids that I know from my time in Mora, I spoke to them. I said, look, I think you should go for a high RG ball, a little bit lower differential. Let the ball help you cross the lane, let the ball help you get a little longer in the distance, and don't try to produce it with the hand. Then it's going to be a little bit more consistent in your shot. It's going to be a little bit easier to repeat, and the ball's not wanting to jump or die too early.
Yeah, I agree on everything you said. It's like I said, the lower diff on a lot of balls, I think is gonna help out a lot, and it's gonna make it easier to see the ball motion you like, and then it's easier to repeat the shots as well.
We have some people saying hello. We have, let me see. What happened to the commentary? No commentary, said Steven. I was having breakfast. I'm a late morning guy. That's the only reason why. Dinner time in Australia. Thanks for the broadcast, Wayne. Good appetite. We hope you have good food. Don't go to bed too early because we're gonna be here for many hours to go. Hector, buenos días, Hector. ¿Cómo va todo? Not even breakfast yet here in Missouri. No, I think it's pretty early to have breakfast. It's probably still gin and tonic time over there. And then we have Mike Hammond over there. Says clapping hands for Ethan Fury. Uh, Eric Jones, two of the new PBA bowling stars. Come on, Eric, you can do better than that. Yeah, Mike, it's the lanes are pretty demanding, and I actually have been, as I said before, I have seen a lot of people doing very good on the first 2 games. Every single squad, at least a couple of people with 460, 480, 470. It makes you think like, oh, this somebody's gonna go on the way for 1400. But then when they hit the third game and the traffic has been kind of chaotic, people gets a lot of trouble. So the pattern is pretty demanding. It's not so easy. Just for everybody watching, this is the squad number 14. That means it's 13 squads. That's probably about 20 people per series. That's like 200 squads at least already bowled, and not even one single 1400. So the lanes are not that easy. It's pretty demanding. Nothing to do with house shots and night league shots. The room is very small, and that's why the bowlers, even if they have a lot of talent, it's very easy to see games of 250, but it's also very easy to see games of 150, 160, stuff like that.
Yes, and I think it's very, very different from a lot of people if you just bowl like 3 or 4 games and then the tournament is over. This is a 6 game re-entry format,
Hmm.
so that means everybody can bowl as much as they want, as much as their wallet is
Allows to, yeah.
allows to, which makes it very easy to go in with different game plans every time if you don't figure it out. So, for example, for Eric, maybe came out with a different game plan today that
Mm,
doesn't seem like it's working out for him.
yeah.
But that's the thing. When it's a re-entry format, that doesn't really matter in the end. The important thing is to get to the finals on Sunday, and then anything can happen from there.
And figure it out. I mean, all you want to do when you're a bowler this talented, all you want to do is figure out what you want to do, especially what you don't want to do. Stay away from crazy zones and doing things that doesn't work well for you. And as soon as you manage to control that, then you have, as you said, maybe 2, 3 extra squats where I can do whatever I want to. It's nice to see we have a lot of people on the chat today. We have some people from Spain. We have Héctor Serrano asking me how am I doing. I'm doing good. Gracias, Héctor. Todo bien. We have Xavi Taribó also. Bon dia, mestre. Content de sentir-te. Una abraçada forta, Xavi. Una
I'll,
abraçada a tots plegats. And now I'm switching
I'll
languages.
just stick to
Spanish,
hola.
Catalan, and
I'm just sticking to hola.
yeah,
Hola, ¿qué
just
tal?
hola, ¿qué tal? Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Now let's see a little bit of scoring. I'm gonna update. After 2 games, it was Ethan Fury with 57 over is on the lead. Sophocles from Greece, that's pretty good. 450. He has been struggling a little bit. He was suffering a lot, especially yesterday. Then we have Anton Andersson from Sweden, 19 over. Trevor is 14 over, and Carl Eklund 402. So on this, yeah, as I predicted on the warm up, it's a lot of things. A lot of young bowlers testing different things. Some of them they were even trying the urethane because that's, as you said, a little
I,
bit like what they used to.
I,
So
I think also the urethane when it comes to like game one, and it looks very, very tricky no matter what. I feel a lot of people maybe think, oh, I can get to 2-0 and that's a good start. But I don't think that's going to be the solution for the whole squad.
no, and especially depending on where you use it during the warm up, it's gonna affect you also when you come back
Oh, for sure.
by the end
For sure.
onto that lane. So yeah, the lanes are pretty demanding. It's so far I would say one of the lowest scoring squads, but that's what they are here for.
Oh, yes.
Learning, understanding. It's part
Yes,
of the process of becoming a bigger bowler in tomorrow.
for sure. And yeah, they will. I think a lot of them will take on what they learn on the lane, maybe have another game plan, and coming back in the afternoon.
Now, if we
Maybe.
see on this particular game, we have a 256 for William on lane 4.
Oh, yes.
Then Ethan Fury was doing quite okay. I saw a few
He's
strikes on him. I lost him again.
17, 18. He can
17,
strike
18.
out for
For
245 this game.
245, that would put him already on 100 over after 3 games. It's kind of separating himself a little bit from
Yes, I
the
think
rest of the young talent in the
I
lanes there.
know Anton Andersson has 630. William Dahlsten 630. Sophocles can strike out for 190 this game.
Hmm?
So yeah, Ethan is his own
Yeah, he's
level right
on a
now.
league of his own at the moment, but it's the way it is. I mean, the lanes are not very easy. It's very demanding. You need to be very focused all the time, and that's another of the things I want to see. I remember when I was up here in Helsingborg by the end of June when we were doing the under 21 World Cup. Even they bowled 240, 230. It was a lot of bowlers bowling
Oh
above
yes, oh
220
yes.
average, but they missed so many single pins. It was unbelievable to witness how many single pins they missed. And what's going to happen is on this kind of pattern, they're not going to spare 3 times per game. Sometimes they're going to have to spare 5 or 6 or 7 times per game because the strike rate is so much lower. And if they don't manage to survive on the sparing, then the games are not 180, 190. They go all the way down to 150, 140. And we have been seeing that for almost every single squad since I arrived in Helsingborg last Thursday.
Yeah, it's a lot of ups and downs for a lot of people, and you can really, really see the frustration of many bowlers out there.
Body
And
language is already scary after
and
3 games. Yeah.
trust me, I understand it. I've been there. But some people are just doing like for example Ethan. This squad, he's the textbook material.
Hmm.
Just taking one shot, going back, and then just do another shot again, making adjustments all the time.
It was one of the things I was speaking yesterday at the late squad with Ernesto, the guy from United States,
Yes.
and that was what he was recalling. He found already on each squad he bowled on fresh. He managed to do 50 to 60. He was actually 200 over in the first game for three squads. I think he has bowled, so it's super high. But then, as soon as the transition comes in, he has not yet found what to do. He decided to he's going to drill a weaker ball to see if he can try to control a little bit better and a little bit easier when that transition shows up. And yeah, what we see on Ethan now is a very, very smooth release. It's just letting the ball slide through the heads, and it's looking very, very good. I think it's looking quite consistent at the moment.
Oh yeah, it's like he's not even touching the ball. It's so smooth, just letting it go.
So you're gonna have a small meeting with all the group of the boys after the squad is done.
Yes, the boys and girls. We usually, like I said, we went through the plan of what we're seeing
Mm-hmm.
with the pattern and how the lane play is. And of course, it's going to be different for every one of them. We are 13
Yeah,
students
it's
here,
quite a few.
and they also have different kind of styles. So they all need to figure out how they all can find that smooth ball reaction and just continue doing good shots.
Just out of curiosity, how many are one-handed of those 13? Now he has to count.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Give him
yeah,
a
yeah.
second. Give him a second.
I think they are free. Yeah, free.
Three. So three out of 13. The numbers are
Yes.
changing very quickly.
Four, four,
Four. Four.
four.
But
Yes,
still, the numbers are changing like very, very quickly.
yeah,
And I guess of those four,
the
probably two are girls.
yes,
Mm,
correct.
didn't see that many two-handers yet, but
No, there's slowly popping up more girls that are two-handed. For example, Elisa is one of the girls
Elisa
that's
Mehmet.
two-handed.
Hmm.
And among well, a lot of the boys are in general.
It's happening very fast. I was in Bollnäs 2 or 3 weeks ago doing some coaching a camp over there, and every young kid it was two-handers. There
Oh
was
yeah,
not even one was bowling in one hand. And then the other thing that you really see is that the young kids, the small
yes,
ones, the ones that still don't even care for lessons because they just go there for have fun, 6, 7, 8 years old.
yes.
No one bowls one hand anymore.
Yeah, I think actually amongst the juniors that just came into the school and are the first year
Hmm.
students, I think all of them are two hands.
Two-handers right away.
We have two girls that are one-handed, and the rest of the boys are two-handed.
It's happening very fast. It's a big transition to into that two-handers
Yes, and
on this next
and
generation.
that's like we talked about before. The trend has been that we can use more surface, we can use more urethane, we
Hmm.
can rip the shit out of the ball more. But if the trend becomes more like this pattern is everywhere, where you just have to let it go, then we have to start teaching them to be way smoother more often instead of just creating reps.
For me, in a way, now that we're talking a little bit deeper bowling stuff, I think the technique on the two-handers, we are still learning about it. I mean, for me as a coach, for example, I could notice that every single month that goes on, the more bowling I watch and the more bowlers I analyze, I get a better understanding on what do I need to help with the two-handers. And one of the things I notice, especially on the amateur areas where there is not so much knowledge, is too many people switching from one hand to two hands, but they still start from the same distance on the approach. They still do the push away at the same moment as they did with one hand. On the top of it, they don't speed up enough with their legs, so they end up having a super, super wrong timing. They reach the foul line with the feet and the ball at the same time. So for me, everything began over there. Try to help them understand. Okay, now your swing is a lot shorter than when you had one hand. So if the ball is going to run a lot less time to get into the foul line, you need to find out a way so you take a lot less time to get into the foul line. So shorten up the approach, make the push away perhaps one step, one full step delayed compared to what you did with one hand, and speed up the legs. I mean, for a two-hander, it's super important to have speed on the legs. Otherwise, you're not going to produce any speed on the ball. You're going to have to force it with the hand and the arm, and perhaps even the hips and the body, and then it's going to be super difficult to become consistent. So for those who are watching out there and they are switching from two hands to one hand, what kind of tips do you think you could give them?
Definitely, like you said, if you're changing from one hand to two hands, the most important would say is the timing has to be a little bit later. Like you hold the ball a little bit longer until you actually start with the ball. But then, like, we can start dividing them into which kind of two-hander is it? Like we say, some of the two-handers are more powerful in just creating revs.
Yeah, a little bit more Oscar style.
Yes, a little bit more Oscar style, and that's more common here in Scandinavia and Europe.
Hmm.
That the bowlers usually go up to the foul line and, like I said, rip the shit out of it and
Hmm.
just create as much revs as possible. And they are usually have a tendency to be very good with urethane.
Hmm.
And then we have other two-handers coming up that is just as good, but they look more like Ethan Fiore, Ryan
Hmm.
Barnes.
Hmm.
They are rolling the ball and have more of a swing to it.
Yes.
Um, Also, what we adjust to in our school is like how tall are they, how short are they,
Hmm.
how their body movements, like are they stiff, are they very
Yeah, a
uh,
bit more flexible, a little bit. Yeah.
flexible, like are they wide, are they skinny, and we try to adjust as much as personal things to optimize their technique as
Yeah.
possible. But the main things is usually speed and a little bit later timing with the legs.
So, guys, since we have Pontus here, just feel free to ask whatever you feel like, and we'll be happy to comment on if you have any
Spe-
questions,
sp-
if you have any doubts that you want to solve.
yeah,
We'll,
especially if you want to ask about the Swedish Bowling Academy as well and what it actually is, because I think a lot of people might have not heard about it around the world.
no, and I think it's a good idea that you explain us a little bit more what you guys do over there. Is it kind of open for anybody that wants to come? Do they have to reach certain bowling standards, academy standards in terms of studying, the rest of the things, history and languages and mathematics and all that kind of stuff?
Yes, so easily explained. A lot of people have heard about college and college bowling. We have the same thing here in Sweden, but we have it for high school level. So usually what they do is that they apply to us. A lot of the bowlers apply to our school when they are 15 years old and they are just about to start high school. So instead of doing all the things they do when they go to college, like moving away from home,
Hmm.
getting their own place and stuff like that, they get to do that in when they're just 15, 16 years old.
That's cool.
And the bowling part is that we provide them just bowling as a class. So they get graded. They have that they have to be there. So we sign up that they are attending every class.
Hmm.
They they still have other subjects in regular school. Like for example, if you study economics, then you got all the subjects on the schedule as you do when you do economics. It's just that example for when another student has extra math or extra
Hmm.
English,
Hmm.
they get bowling. So
That's
usually what
nice.
they do is they have morning classes and the bowling classes starts at 07:15.
Ooh, that's pretty early,
Yes,
yeah.
I know that you would love that,
I
Louis.
have.
Or they bowl after school
I was
in the
gonna say I
afternoon.
wouldn't have slept so much if I had been coming into that
But
school.
yeah, so they also have classes like with the PE class. So we have still a lot of physical training
Hmm.
every week, and we also have a theory class, but how they learn about the mental game, how the body works with food, etc., etc. So they get like the full package. Like for example, today is the school and the Swedish Bowling Federation are working together with our school,
Hmm.
so they actually get this first squad funded, and it's because they have to learn to bowl against the
Yeah,
best,
yeah,
get the experience. That's the best thing to get better.
yeah. That's it. It's gonna be an eye opener for many of them because, as you said, they are very young. They have been bowling kind of real competition, perhaps 3, 4 years, not many more than that. And since bowling seems to be moving a little bit in waves, we are on that wave where the patterns are usually used or usually bowled with urethane, and as you said before, they are really good at that type of bowling. They are really good at giving surface to the ball. They understood all that on a very young age, how to work with the surface to get more control, to make the ball read a little bit sooner. So even if they have a lot of reds and a lot of speed, it doesn't become too sensitive. But they also need to learn that bowling can change drastically and bowling can become super tough. And sometimes it's not about the power, it's a little bit more about accuracy and I would say consistency. Try to be able
Yes.
to repeat your shots. You don't want to kill the pins on those kind of patterns. You just want to drop them down. You just want to make sure that you hit the pocket constantly. And it sounds very, very smart that both the bowling school and the Swedish Federation decide to work together and give those kids this kind of opportunity. Correct
Yeah.
me if I'm wrong. I heard when I was working in Mora as a coach, they also have some kind of little help when they want to buy a new ball, the young ones, the young kids. Or is that gone?
That's below our school. Like, so we provide them bowling balls if they want to change grip.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if you have problem with your hand or your release or something, we have a lot of extra balls that we can use to try
Do
to
some testing.
do some texting
Uh-huh.
with different grips, and if they like it, they can go to their own pro shop owner and suggest that they maybe want to try this because in their age they're growing all the time.
Yeah, they're changing so quickly, and the hand gets bigger and bigger. Flexibility goes a little bit away compared to when they were 10 or 12. So I think it's a few things, and they need to get adjusted pretty often.
Yes.
I usually tell people around my countries, you need to make sure that the grip is proper. I mean, it doesn't matter how many hours you invest on trying to practice if the grip is completely wrong. And I give them an example. Would you go out there and train some running with one shoe of a different size than the other one? And they always say, no, absolutely not. Well, that's what you're doing here. You have three balls, and the three balls are completely different grips. So you're messing with your own brain.
Yeah.
And yeah, but
So so the funny thing a lot of people don't know is that the school has been around for more than 40 years now, and it's provided a lot of success during our Sweden's era of bowling in
mhm.
general. We can start with the owner here of this bowling
Yeah,
center,
I was gonna say
Patrick
actually,
Backe was one of the first guys that went to the school.
it was
Uh,
Patrick's father who was starting
yes,
the bowling school, Christer. We say hello to Christer. Actually, I have to say hello to many people before I forget. Good morning, Leonard. Bon dia, Juan. Buenos dias, Juan. It's yeah, a lot of people keep talking on the commentary. We are just yeah, you know me already. I speak a lot, so
yeah.
forgive me.
So for example, for some of the players that's gone to the school I coach is like I went there, Jesper Svensson, Robin Ilhammar, Nora Johansson, Robert Anderson, uh, Martin Blix. I think we counted the previous year how many world champions that has went to the school, and I think right now we're 17.
Mm, not bad.
So the school has provided a lot of.
I was gonna say you provide one world champ every couple of seasons. That's pretty successful.
Yes, and it's very, very cool to see the students when they actually go there and they really, really take the job for it, that they want to practice and they can get better
Mm.
and just really, really trying to become the best bowler they can.
And you also give them more knowledge about equipment, not only about technique, but you also work about layouts
Oh
and
yes,
floors and
we
cover
cover it
stops
all.
and
So, for example, we have a great mix of different coaches. Like, I'm working part time,
hmm
so while I'm out bowling in Europe and the rest of the world. Peter Hellstrom is one of the bowlers in Sweden that has the most tournament games, and he gets so much experience just bowling everywhere and has a lot of knowledge in bowling since forever. And then we have Pepe Engström. He's been a national coach in both for Sweden and other countries throughout the years. So we have a great mix of a lot of knowledge throughout the years.
absolutely, absolutely.
So we try to cover it all with, like you said, ball motion, technique, lane play. Like there's always something we can try to cover.
And it's important that they start learning these things pretty early on their career, because one thing is to learn them, and a completely different thing is to master them.
Oh
That
yes, for sure.
requires a lot of time. You need the eyes to get trained over the years, and that's what's happening to me, for example. Now, some people get surprised when I'm sitting down behind the lanes and I see the changes so quickly, and especially to the friends, you should change to that ball and you should move 5 here and 3 there, and then they make a shot, they strike, and they look at you surprised, like, how did you know that? Do you have a crystal ball where you see the future? Not really. It's that we have been doing this for all our life. So our eyes are trained already. We see the ball motion. We see when the ball reads a little bit too early, if the ball reads a little bit too late. Is it? I don't only see the ball, how is it moving on the lane, but I also grab a lot of information on how the pins are falling. That's another thing the young ones need to understand.
Yeah.
Back in my day, when I was a younger kid, we had we used to think about our bowling balls of which one hooks most and which one hooks less. It was all about how much distance, sorry, not how
Sideways it
much
went.
sideways it would
Yeah.
move. Nowadays, I try to explain everybody, since 220 is usually not enough. You really need to bowl 250 if you want to be a contender on some of the events we are bowling today. Um, you really need to understand the way the pins are falling. And I try to explain to most of the amateurs when they go back home, for example, they have been bowling the night league and they hit the pocket all night long, but they couldn't strike, and they go home and tell their wife, "Oh, I was so unlucky today. I hit the pocket all day long, but it was 9, 9, 9, 9, 9." It's not a fact of luck. It's you probably had the wrong ball in your hand. If you find the right ball in the hand, and then you get the right carry, and in order to understand that the angle must be the same, we don't want to think anymore about which ball hooks more, which ball hooks less. We want to start thinking, when do they hook? Which one is earlier? Which one is later? And obviously, if I want to keep the same kind of angle, a ball that hooks really early, I cannot bowl a breakpoint too deep inside, because then it's going to produce a very weak angle. It's not going to carry. If I have a ball that's going to start hooking very, very late, I cannot put it too far to the outside, because then it's going to generate a way too strong angle. It's not going to carry, or it's going to strike, but as soon as I'm a little bit out of the pocket, it's going to give me a very big split. And for the amateurs, yeah, I think it's important that they start seeing bowling a little bit more this way. Uh, I'm going to shut up for a second. We have a couple of questions from coming from Catalonia, actually from Barcelona. Hector Serrano is asking, how is the pattern compared to the patterns we are used to bowl in our trainings? Well, the pattern is a lot harder than we use any of the patterns in Spain. The patterns in Spain, I'm going to put it that way. If I grab everyone in the bowling alley at the moment and we move them out to the pattern that we are using in Spain at the moment, the lower score would be quite above par.
Oh yeah.
They are used to bowl on these kind of house shots where you can miss 3, 4 boards to the right and the ball's gonna come back. You can miss 2 or 3 boards to the left and the ball's gonna hold and stay in the pocket no matter what. So it's funnier for them. Yeah, they score higher scores, and probably that's the reason why it's happening, because the bowling alleys want happy customers. But on the other hand, like Xavier Taribo says right after, he says, we want this kind of patterns back home. Otherwise, we will never learn. And I agree with that. If we never bowl on flatter patterns with a little bit less of room, even the eyes get untrained to look at the target. They just look somewhere, yeah. And it happened to me to some of the guys I've been coaching lately. I asked them, okay, where are your eyes looking? Where are you trying to hit? Oh, somewhere between that arrow and that arrow. That is how big the the room is they're trying to target on. And on the contrary, I told them, I remember when I was quite young and the lanes were a lot flatter. Sometimes I even looked at the line that separated the boards. That's how small you want to train your eyes to look at. So yeah, we definitely would do a little bit better with tougher patterns in the Spanish, at least from time to time.
Oh yeah. I just love variety. So I love when it's gonna be hard like this. I love when it's some tournaments with a little bit room, but it's more like when you just see a trend of the same thing all the
Mm.
time, then is when it gets kind of boring as a bowler, I would say. So, like for example, this challenge we have this week, it's something different that we haven't been exposed to in a long time. So I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's like you get a new puzzle. You need to
Yeah,
solve it. You need to start thinking. You need to focus on a lot of different stuff that you have been doing for the previous months or whatever. And it's fun to have this kind of
experience.
situations
Yeah.
from time to time. Okay, game four, and I see more strikes than I was expecting. So probably some of your kids are doing okay. Some of
I
your kids are
think
finding
so
some
too.
solutions. For example, we have a four bagger on lane 14. We have a four bagger on lane 18. Actually, two four baggers on 17 and 18. Matisse Blanchette from Canada, he really does it very good. He's very powerful on the wrist and the release,
Yes.
but the rest of the body language through all the rest of the technique, it looks a little bit old school. So it's like a good hybrid in there. We have Eric Jones on 19, also with a four bagger. Felix Moller, four bagger. If we move to 11 and 12, Sophocles is back with a full bagger. Then he had a three, I guess he missed to the corner. When you have a three, probably missed to the outside a little bit, and he got 6, 10, whatever. Now, where was Ethan? Ethan was moving left, so
1 and 2, and he has a pace on 278 when there's 3 frames left.
yeah,
He's locked in.
is he gonna be the first 1400?
The- yeah.
Let's not jinx
No,
it,
no. I
but it looks that way,
let's
right? It
jinx
looks
it.
like
He
he's
can do
gonna
it. He's gonna do it.
He's very, very good, and
Yeah.
he could
He's
probably be the first one to break the 1400
yeah.
on this pattern.
I love to watch him bowl.
And it's good that he does it, if he does it, because it maybe helps open up the eyes for many of the young ones. That you don't really need to
Yeah.
force anything; you just need to let it happen.
Just let it go.
I'm gonna make a quick reminder of the scorings after 3 games because pretty soon we're gonna be over on the fourth. For those of you who are wondering, Ethan is bowling on lanes 1 and 2. He's gonna just make a shot on lane 2. He's standing in front of the ball return already. 3 steps. He's really good at those 3 steps. That was pretty good. I mean, the way when you miss, but just the fact that he's letting the ball slide through the lane, it pays out pretty well. It could have been a 210, but it was just a 2-pin, so it's going to be an easy 9 spare. As I was saying, Ethan Fury on the lead with 702 after 3 games, so 102 over. Then we drop down to 639 for William Dalston. 632 for Anton Anderson. Anton Anderson has been bowling quite a few squats. He's been
Yes.
fighting it, and
I'm not sure what his highest score is so far.
me neither. As soon as we get our
Yes.
technician back on the room, we'll find out. Then we have Sophocles from Greece, 629. Canada, Matisse Blanchette, 625. Adam Anderson's 609. Adam Anderson, is it a family with?
No.
No,
We're
it's too many Andersons.
Andersons is very, very common over here.
None of you is family anyway.
Nah, no, it's just Andersons everywhere.
It's like
It's usually
it's
what it is.
a lot of Pontus and a lot of yeah, some of the names that you keep seeing a lot of Jespers also around.
Yes.
Fun story. I was talking in the morning, right before the warm up with Carl Eklund. We have a good relations. We met many times when I was up there in Mora. He told me he's a 25% Spanish. He just found out he has some on his family tree.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he said he was supposed to be named Carlos instead of Carl. So it was pretty funny to me. I said, well, then probably you can blame it on that Spanish DNA whenever you bowl bad.
Yeah.
It's that 25% isn't functioning properly. Felix Moller, he just won an event on Sunday, right?
Yes. There
Hammer
was
Youth,
a
I believe it was.
there was a youth event here about an hour from here
Hmm.
in Eslöv, and yeah, it was a lot of the kids that did pretty well. But Felix was one of the winners that weekend.
And then Saturday, Elias Ersson also won something and shot the 300 game. I don't remember exactly where he
Yes.
bowled.
Yeah, there's a lot of tournaments going on. They're doing good.
Elias is a very, very nice kid. He was bowling at the club I was coaching in Mura. He bowled one hand until he was pretty much 16. Then he moved to Nässjö into the
Yes,
bowling school, and he moved to two hands. He had a bit of a rough time for a little bit, but obviously it's a big change. It's not
for
something
sure.
you can accomplish in 3 weeks, 6 weeks,
You gotta
eight
have
weeks.
patience as well.
You need to be patient, but the fact that he has already won an event with two hands, I expect is going to give him a little bit of mojo and confidence to keep going and keep working and keep learning on that process, which is a never-ending process, I must say. You never stop learning, you never stop
No.
evolving because the game itself,
Yes.
it's evolving continuously.
Yes, as long as you like to still learning. When you think you know everything and that you're done, that's usually when you stop developing.
Yeah, and the thing is, even if bowling is one of those sports that you can do until a very, very old age, when you stop bowling a little bit more and you start becoming more into coaching and helping the others around, you really want to keep learning. Otherwise, you cannot teach the young kids what I did. I cannot teach the young kids what I did 30 years ago. It's not going to work. It's a complete different game now. Some of the tips I can give, some of the tips would work in few occasions, but we have to adapt our knowledge to the reality of today's game.
Oh, always. Like we said, it's always about the trends. The trends last couple of years has been more that urethane has been in favor, and that's why a lot of people has been very, very good with it. And it makes sense because they score the highest. Uh,
Absolutely.
and like I said, when you find out that the trends are slowly telling you something different, that's when you have to figure out, okay, what should I be up to the next couple of practice sessions or not?
Mm. Okay, we just saw Ethan Fury got 8-1 on the ninth frame. It's just an open frame, but still, if he doubles on the 10th frame, it's going to go for 230. So that would put him already with 930 after three. That's going to be one of the highest four first games in the squad so far. We have seen, I think it was yesterday, we saw 960 on Ryan Barnes, but not many have been reaching 900 after four. So it's a pretty solid scoring. Uh, most of the people is already reaching the ninth and the 10th frame. Pretty soon we're going to do a refreshment on the scoring and we'll update. So in the meantime, I'm just going to remind everybody, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. The main reason is we do everything for free. All the content is for free. You just need to be subscribed. That's going to help us overcome the YouTube rules, and they will take care of any kind of expenses. So yeah, go on and sign up and subscribe in the YouTube channel. And oh, I see our friend from Korea is back. He's been texting almost every single day.
Oh,
Uh,
안녕하세요. That's about it.
that's all. Yeah,
That's about it.
it's a lot more than I can say anyway. And this guy is gonna
Oh,
get angry at me because it's been texting for 3 days, and I still haven't been able to reply, not even once.
well, I got a question why I haven't bowled yet. Well, they hosted a lot of PBA Sweden event previous this season, and if you won one of those, you were automatically qualified for final step one here at the Larsen. So yeah, I won one of those, so I got one final spot. So I will just bowl one squad on Friday, see how it goes, and hopefully get to final step two. Otherwise, I will go bowling on Sunday.
But you only have registered for one squad,
Yes, correct.
and you're a fast learner.
That I feel that it's easier to learn when you actually watch it. So I'm very, very happy that I get to be here and watching my students today and evaluate and see what the best solution will be for me when I bowl.
Ethan Fury he had a couple of open frames to end the game, so he shot 212. Still is going to be on 114 over, so that's pretty good. Then if I look at some scoring, we have Matisse Blanchette, who's now going to bowl on 13 and 14. It's on 26 over par. A lot of people with 780, 770, 760, even some of them a little bit shorter from 700. Not many are on above the par at the moment.
Anton Anderson has 825.
825 for Anton Anderson. That's true. He's gonna bowl now on lane 1 and 2.
799 on the Robin Jakobsen, but I think, yeah, William Dahlsten is gonna probably over 800 as well.
He's bowling on 7 and 8. He's having a bit of issues. It looks like he's gonna make 170.
Yes,
So he's gonna stay like
around even.
slightly above 810, probably
Yeah.
810, 811. Yeah, you're gonna have to do a lot of a lot of calm down and cooling down after the squad and try to help all the kids understand what happened, what did they do wrong, what they could have done a little bit better. I saw some of them. They were, as I said before, they were trying the urethane at the warm up in game one. Um, so maybe there gonna be some talking about what they can do a little bit different on next squads and see what they can do if they can get a little bit of a different approach into the strategy they want to get during the next squad.
Yes, usually it is how to find that smoother ball reaction, and yeah, just get a lot more control with the ball, because right now the ball hooks a lot when they miss a little bit.
And it's, I mean, there is a very good bowlers on the lanes. For example, we have Karen, the lefty bowler from Denmark.
Oh
She
yes.
does it very, very smooth, very, very good. She bowled unbelievable good in the under 21 World Cup we had here at the end of June. But yet she's struggling. It's not easy for her. She's currently with 704, starting game five. Another kid from Denmark, Nicholas Carter. He bowled really, really good as well. Also on the under 21, it was above 230 average for the whole week, and now he's gonna shoot 660 after four. So that's what I mean. It proves that it doesn't really matter how good you are if you are not able to adapt to what this pattern is demanding you. It's gonna be very tough for you. You're gonna suffer a lot.
Yes, it's a challenge for sure.
Those who are watching, but they are already in Helsingborg, they may be watching from the hotel and stuff. We want to remind you that we're gonna have some crazy party going on after the second squad. We're gonna have a little bit of fun. We're gonna bring a superstar DJ from Ibiza and Barcelona. He's
I've never met him. Who's that?
not only good, but he's pretty cute. He's single, so make sure you come by and say hello to him. Yeah, that's what Neymar and these people do. They speak about themselves. Man, let me make a short break because it's we're starting game five, and I believe Pontus, you should go out there and take care of the children for a little while. And
Yes.
it's been very fun to have you here. I hope we can kidnap you for a little while at
Oh,
some
I'll be
point
here during
during
the
the week.
weekend, so
But
I guess it will be fine.
thank you very much for being here.
Thank
It's a
you.
pleasure to meet you again and spend some time to
Yeah.
talking to you and having fun on watching some young talented bowlers. And så jag säger tack så jättemycket.
Tack så mycket. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. We just carry on. I'm gonna let everybody know what the scores are, and we are in frame two of the fifth game. Pretty soon we're gonna get the refreshing on the scores. Obviously, Ethan Fury is gonna be on top. Yeah, actually, sorry, we have them already. I was waiting for the fifth game to show up, but they are bowling the fifth game at the moment. So how is it gonna be the fifth game over there when they are bowling it? So only 5 bowlers above par at the moment. So the young kids are suffering and struggling like a lot. We have Ethan Fury on the first place with 914, with games of 216, 241, 245, and 212. That last game of 212, it looked like he was going to do a lot higher, but he had a couple of open frames on 9 and 10. Then we have Sophocles from Greece. There's the Grecia, 257, 193, 179, 203. So he's 32 over. Then the talented guy from Canada, Mathis Blanchette, 826. But look at that. He started with 134. So he's not going to be pleased about. You cannot be pleased with a game of 130 on the pair that you have been doing the warm up. That definitely it's going to be a little bit expensive. It's going to be very hard to overcome. But he's doing his best because he's already at 26 over. So he had games of 256, 235, and 201. Then we have Anton Andersson from Sweden, 825, with games of 193, 226, 213, and 193. Fifth position, it's another Swedish bowler, William Dalstin, 809, 193, 190, 256, 170. That seems to be the things I see more often during this week when I'm reading the games. 250, 170, 250, 140, 260, 170. For example, if I go a little bit down to the eighth spot, is the other guy from Greece. Is on 785, but his games is 192, 168, 248. So that's 80 pins different over there. And the next one, 177. So it's another drop of 70 pins down. Um, if I go to Trevor Roberts from United States, 157, 257, 152 and then 208. So yes, the pattern is very demanding. Yes, the pattern is asking you to stay focused. Yes, the pattern becomes very difficult from start, but also when you change lane, whatever they have been doing with that lane before, it's going to be very important to solve as quick as you can because otherwise you end up with a low game and then the whole squad vanishes, and yeah, it's not easy. I see a lot of single pin missing already, so some people is getting kind of exhausted in their brain. The consumption of energy is pretty high when the pattern is so demanding, so I can understand if people hasn't have or people doesn't have too much fun. We're still having some commentaries in Korean. uh, what are those numbers we have in there? 2, 3, 1. What is that? Do you have any idea? I have no idea either. We're reading you, but unfortunately, I still cannot understand what you're saying. So I'm hoping that people who is following the online streaming, they can open up a second window with Google Translate and find out what you are talking about. But as I said yesterday, I appreciate you are there, you're watching, and you're commenting every single day. So that's pretty good. Now, remember everybody, games 5 and 6. If you make a very high game, it could help you go into the final because games 5 and 6, the turbo, it's on. People who could do a very high game at the moment, we have Elisa on lanes 9 and 10. She's got the front 5. Then we have Carl Eklund on 15 and 16. He's got front 4. We have Rowan Jakobsson with a spare and a double. And I believe at the moment the turbo is somewhere around 267. It was yesterday, both for the 5th and the 6th game. I don't think that changed on the last score yesterday. I don't really remember, but I think so. And yeah, 279 game or 270 something, even 280. That would probably secure you a spot on the through the turbo. We'll just find out pretty soon. We're opening the stats at the moment. Yes, Kyle Tripp, 267 he shot last night and on game 5, and game 6 is Hampus Karlsson from Sweden, also 267. That seems to be the top score that people is managing to do on games 5 and 6 because I've seen quite a few of those. It's a few more bowlers that already had 267 on that game 5 and 6. So we're gonna have to see if someone manages to do a little bit more and break that 260 barrier that we have at the moment. Now, if any of you hear a little bit of weird sound and noise, it's my stomach. It's waking up, and pretty soon it's going to be lunchtime for me. I'm getting hungry again. I don't know what happens every time I get into the streaming room. I become super hungry. Okay, now I had a question. I was like the numbers that come with a kind of a king and a number besides. I was wondering what that was. So it's the icon in YouTube live chat is the top viewer, number one supporter badge. Wow. So Hector, you have been the number one supporter in that channel. Joan, you have been the number one supporter on the other camera streaming. Then we have Mike Hammond, is number one as well, and Alana Peters. So it's pretty good. And the Korean guy, you are talking a lot, but you still haven't got the number one position. So hopefully, pretty soon you get one of those number one king of the stream. We could say king of the stream. Okay, Carl Eklund, 9 spare, so he could do 279. On the other hand, Elisa, she managed to put the 6-1, so she could be the number one at the moment. I'm talking about the turbo, obviously, not talking about the overall squad. Number one is Ethan Fury, 114 over. I became a little silent because I was trying to find Ethan. He's now bowling on lanes 5 and 6. He's got spare, 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 and a double. So it's looking like he's going to do another good game over there. He's not getting any issues, which is pretty important at this moment. Let's see, Elisa is bowling on lane 9, 9 and 10, and she got an amazing perfect strike shot. Now she's got the front 7. That's going to be very good for her. Let me find. Elisa is currently on 763. She shot 160 on game 1, but then she did 202, 190, and 205. And now she's got the front 7. So let me remind you that women have a couple of spots secured in the final for the top 2 ladies who are not already in the top scoring. And I believe that top score for women now was about 1230 something, 1220 something. I know Emma Haltonen, she had something around 1220 something. And Nora, I believe she had somewhere close to that score as well. We are just checking out. I'll let you know pretty soon. Actually, they have exactly the same score. Emma Haltunen, 1227, and Nora Johansson, 1227. That's only 27 over. And the fact that Elisa was with 760 something, it means if she bowls at 260, she's already going to be on that score of 20 something over. She's got the front 7, so that's already a 250 game without any more striking and just sparing. And that would put her pretty close into that scoring pace. And yeah, perfect. Oh, that was a lucky one for Elisa. She just missed a little bit left. The ball didn't held at all. It just got into the left side of the pocket, but she got the Brooklyn. So that makes it 8 in a row. And sometimes when you go for a very high game, you need a little bit of luck as well. So I believe she's going to be very happy. Let's see how long can she carry on with that striking streak. Uh, Back to our leader, Ethan Fury, bowling on 5 and 6. 8 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare double, 9 spare strike. So, yeah, it's okay game, not super high. Let's see if he finds the way to strike out and produce a little bit of a higher game, perhaps to 20 to 30, which would put him all the way on 30 to 40, sorry, 130, 140 above the par, and give him a good chance on if he has a very successful last game, become the new leader. If he has an okay game, at least secure his spot into the finals for Sunday. We had some predictions early in the week that the cut would probably be around 150 over. Uh, the Swedish national coach, Robert Andersson, he was predicting somewhere around 130 over. Our good friend Victor Backe, he predicted about 140 over, just to be in between the two of us, see which one was right. And we have to see. We had Andrew Anderson, he said maybe it's not going to be that high when he was sitting down here beside me. Main reason said as soon as many of the PBA bowlers start bowling together, since they use the same area and they have a lot of rep rate, they would probably burn the lanes a little bit too much, and then instead of becoming a little bit easier, it could become a little bit harder. On the other hand, Ernesto was here yesterday. Ernesto is a super young, talented from the United States, super talented kid. He saw the things a little bit different. He saw it a little bit, as I said. He believes as soon as all the PBA guys are here and they use the same kind of area on the lane is not going to become that messy, and that should make the pattern slightly easier. But as everything, we will have to wait and see what goes on. Okay, Elisa got the 9 spare on the 9th frame, so if she strikes out, she's gonna make 279. If he strikes spare, she would do 269, and she would take the lead on that turbo happening on the games 5 and 6. We had a very nice shot by Ethan Fury now on lane 5. He managed to get another double, so he's now currently on the 216, 215 game, but frames 9 and 10 still yet to go. So he could go all the way up to 247. If he does that, he's going to be on 160 over, and then the 1400 still would be more than possible. A couple of frames to go on that 5th game. Let's see what goes on. Yeah, so far on this game, we can see a few people have found something that may work for them. For example, we have Nicholas Carter from Denmark. He's really talented. He's quite powerful, a single-handed bowler, quite tall. He can really bowl, but he has been struggling a little bit today. He couldn't really find how to solve the issues on this pattern. He just had a split that usually happens when you talk good about someone. You suddenly jinx them. But nothing to do with his talent. He really has a very nice talent, and yeah, it's a very good experience for all these young kids trying to learn and trying to see what goes on. We have Dion Weber. Hello, Dion. Nice to see you're following us as well. Shout out to Jamie Hickey, wishing him all the best. I think Jamie did not only a very good decision by coming up here and facing the best bowlers in the world, but also it's going to help him a lot to understand a little bit more what real bowling is like. Jamie's a bowler from Gibraltar. He's bowling in the south of Spain. Myself, I've been bowling down there for all my life, and I can tell you it's good to start traveling and coming out and bowling on this kind of different environment, surrounded by a lot of talented bowlers, surrounded by people who can score really high. They have a lot of rep rates, and mostly above them all, it's going to be very beneficial for him to bowl on a real tough pattern, a very demanding pattern that is going to help his brain and his eyes to look into smaller targets. That's one of the issues we have down there in the south of Europe. We bowl in way too easy patterns, so we are getting used to look at the very big areas instead of looking at the very small areas. We become worse and worse in terms of aiming because the lanes are doing everything for us. So yes, Dion, I'll make sure to say hello to him as soon as the squad is over, and I can take a small break on the commentary on the streaming. And but I'm very very glad that Jamie is here and is, as I said, it's going to be very beneficial for him. He's going to learn a lot. He's going to, and the other thing that's going to happen is as soon as he hits the lanes back in Gibraltar and some of the bowling alleys in Spain, he's going to find them so easy. His scoring pace is going to go higher. He's going to bowl even better than he has been doing in the last few months. Now, oh, that's a very expensive frame for Elisa. She was on the way for 270, but she got a 5 on that 10th frame. And unfortunately, that's not going to be even enough for keeping that turbo position. We said it was on 267. But on the other hand, if she managed to spare that little bit complex of pins she's got over there, she's going to go for a 260 game. Let's see what goes on. Uh, that was a very nice pair. Nice save, nice cover. So she's going to bowl 260 something. And it's going to put her exactly on those 27 over par, which is what Emma and Nora are currently having as the top two lady contenders. So quite interesting to see what Elisa manages to do on the last game. See if she can find a way to score a little bit more than 210 or 220 and try to secure her spot a little bit on the top of the ladies division. Now we're going to see her 12 frame. She's bowling quite deep. She's somewhere around 25. She got a split, but it's, as I said, 12 frame, 260 for 1,023 over. Now she needs at least 205 on the last game to overcome Nora and Emma, who are tied with 1227. And back to our leader, Ethan Fury, bowling on 5 and 6. Not so lucky. It looks like he's got, yeah, he's got a split on the 10th frame, 6, 7, 10. That's a couple of games now. He's had the same issue. He had an open frame to end the game. Instead of striking out for 240, he's got an open frame for 210 unless he spares the split. But he's still putting some scoring on his squad. It's going to be already 20 something or 30 over, depends on if he spares or not. He took only one. That's not, well, he tried to spare it probably. He took only one, but because he came from a double, so not going to help that much. So it's 210 for Ethan Fury. 11-24 after 5 games. He's still going to be the leader of the squad by quite a big distance. Now let me find Sophocles, who was on second position with 832. Let me see where Sophocles is bowling at the moment. Can't find him. Oh, over here. Yeah, now I found him. On lane 7-8, he's got the triple, but he also has a couple of open frames. So it's not going to be a very high game. It's not going to go up very much. Matisse Blanchette, he was on third position, but he's going to have a little bit of a lower game. He's going to need to strike out to make 203. He's bowling on 13 and 14. Very deep. It's in the middle of the ball return, almost on the left lane. Yeah, lifting it on 6.5 arrows. So that was pretty deep inside. One of the deepest shots I've seen so far. He managed to double again, triple, double on the 10th, triple, 9, 10, 11. So he's going to save a 200 game. But he's going to be only 29 over with one more strike. So he needs a very high game at the end. And it may not still be enough to make the cut. People above par. We have Elisa at the moment with 1,023. We have Carl Eklund, who just shot 247, so he's also sitting above par with 28 over. We have Anton Andersson on 1 and 2. We shot 215, so he's now sitting at 40 over. And we're gonna have Mathis Blanchette from Canada, who just shot 199. The score just went away, so I couldn't see exactly what went on. But I think it was 199, so he's gonna be at 825. People is ending their fifth game. No one managed to do anything for the Turbo. Elisa was pretty close with that 260 game, but the top scores at the Turbo remain Kyle Trapp at 267, and now we are entering the sixth game. It was the same score for the Turbo, 267. So let's see if anyone manages to do some more at the moment. Yeah, people is really deep in the lanes already. I see a lot of people bowling beyond 25 on the arrows. So it's a lot of traffic. It's a lot of people getting into that area. It's not easy. We see already some people trying different things. Nathan is already trying to bowl a little bit far to the right, see if he can stay away from the traffic. The problem when you move far to the right is that you really need to be accurate, because the way the pattern is designed, if you miss a little bit to the right, we have seen quite a few people taking only 2 or 3 pins on the corner quite a few times already. The pattern is quite demanding on the corners. It doesn't allow you to miss too far outside. So one game to go to end up this first squat in the morning. That's squat number 14. We're on Wednesday, middle of the week. We still have 4 squats on Thursday, 4 squats on Friday, and 4 squats on Saturday. So it's going to be 12 squats plus the one we're going to bowl later on at 2 o'clock. So that means we have 13 squats to go. We are in the middle of the qualifying of this Storm Lucky Larsen's 2025 Masters. Oh, Dion says next year maybe we go up also. You should do that, guys. I really recommend it. As I said before, you don't really need to have that skills like the PBA have. I mean, it's so many more things happening around the event. We had 4 different seminars. It's going to be. We had one seminar talking about mental game with the people from Strike Mine. Then we're going to have a couple of seminars with Matt McNeil from Storm. He's going to talk a little bit about bowling goals, bowling balls, and layouts, stuff like that. Then we're going to have Christian Jonas from Kegel. He's going to do a very interesting seminar. I'm going to attend for sure, talking about how they design lane profiles, hole profiles, how do they do it. And it's a lot of stuff happening around. We had currently at the moment, some of the PBA guys are bowling, they are golfing. They are playing a friendly match in a golf course. Obviously, when they are out of the bowling alley and they're not focused on what they have to do, it's even easier to spend time with them and take some pictures, get to know them a little bit better. It's quite a few of them, so when you are watching the bowling, you can see many of them bowling, but you can see also many of them right behind the lanes and ask for autographs and go take a picture. I mean, get to know your idols. What could be better than that? Also, in the risk of becoming a little bit annoying on repeating myself, but I'm gonna ask you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's 100% for free. It costs you absolutely nothing, and that's gonna help us keep the channel open and for free, so we can keep doing more and more bowling for all the bowling fans out there in the world. We're gonna show PBA Regional Sweden. We're gonna show the PBA events that happen in here. We're going to show this event that currently we are running until the very last frame of it. It's going to be a lot of the Swedish National League, and that's something, if you have never witnessed, you don't want to miss. It's electrifying. The atmosphere is like any other crazy sport you may imagine. It's like Barca Madrid football or Finland, Sweden hockey. It's a really crazy electrifying atmosphere. It's a lot of talented bowlers in Scandinavia. We have some PBA bowlers coming to bowl that Swedish National League. So make sure you subscribe. You just have to click a button, and that's all you have to do. Now, we start in the last game of the squad, sixth game. It's probably a very, very long morning for some of the Swedish kids coming from the Nässjö bowling school. As Pontus was telling us when he was here at the streaming, nowadays the kids are used to play a lot with the surface of the ball, give even more and more surface so they can get more control. And the only thing they usually get used to do is just move to the left and hit it harder. But we are bowling on a very different type of condition. It requires a very different approach than they are used to it. It requires a lot of patience. It requires a lot of sparing because you're not going to strike that much. It definitely doesn't require any surface or any urethane. On the contrary, you want balls that are going longer by themselves on the lane, higher RG, lower differential, less surface, and mostly you don't want to overdo anything with the wrist. You want a ball very, very smooth. You want to let the ball go longer on the lane. Now, I'm going to update the scoring. We have up to 9 bowlers at par, but yeah, they are pretty much low pars. We have William Dalston on the 9th position with 1,000, so that's exactly 200 average. Robin Jakobsson, 8th place, same score, 200 average. Mick Stampe is 1,001 on 7th position. Sophocles from Greece is now on the 6th place for this squad, 1,008. Elisa Mehmet, as we said, she had the 260 game, so she went all the way up to 23 over. We're gonna have to keep an eye on Elisa because she has a fair chance to be the ladies leader. She has a strike and an open frame on frame 2, but she can become the top scoring on the girls division in a way in order to try to secure a spot for the final. She's looking in the body language like, let's see what goes on. She's bowling on lane 5 and 6. That shot she just did, the ball read super, super early, so probably we'll have to see her moving in front of the ball return pretty soon. To carry on with the scoring, Mathis Blanchette from Canada is currently 4th with 1,026. Then we have Carl Eklund with 1,028. Anton Andersson, 1,040, and a couple of steps above them all, we have Ethan Fury with 124 over. Ethan has ball games of 216, 241, 245, 212, and 210. And as I said to you before, these last 2 games of 212, 210, they both could have been a 250, 240. He's got on the 212, he had an open frame both on frame 9 and frame 10. He was on a scoring pace of 260. And on this last game, he was on the scoring pace for 240 something, but he got a big split on the 10th frame, so he shot 210. But that is very good news when your lowest games, they are still on the 210s. And that's probably what's separating Ethan from the rest of the field at the moment, because, for example, if I go to Carl Eklund, he's got the 190 and 174. If I look at Anton Andersson, who is 84 behind Ethan at the moment, he had 190, 190. So if you manage to save the low games, you had a lot of room covered already. We have 3 guys with front 3. We have Trevor Roberts, Anton Andersson, Carl Eklund. So some people trying to get a very high game to end up on the 6th and try to get their spot into the final through the turbo. Currently, as I said, it was 267, so they need to keep on striking quite much. Yeah. Anton Andersson just missed a little bit to the left, and the ball instantly it instantly moved quite far to the left, so he almost did not hit the headpin on the left side. It could have been one of those lucky strikes. And after all, we are at the lucky Larsen, so why not expect a little bit of luck from time to time? Trevor, same thing. It got a split on the frame 4, so well, we jinxed everybody by making that screen a little bit bigger. I think you might make it smaller before Carl makes the same thing on the on the 4th frame. Let's see, Carl is on lane 20, pretty deep inside. Yeah, we jinxed them all. So no more big screens anymore. And now we have a potential chance on lane 2 by Noel Torgersen. Strike, spare on a split, and 3 in a row. So if he strikes out, he still could do a 280. That would put him also on the lead for the turbos. And Ethan Fury is now bowling on. I lost Ethan again. Where are you? Yeah, 9 and 10, double spare strike. So let's see if Ethan can manage to do a very high game at the moment. It's going to be interesting to see what type of traffic he generated during the warm-up and what or how much room they have left for him during these 5 games he has been away from that pair. He's bowling pretty deep inside. He's letting the ball do the job. The ball sliding pretty far down. It's not forcing it, and that's the one thing I keep repeating for those who are watching, especially if you're going to come and bowl at some of the squads. It's what seems to be working better. Let the ball cross the path. Don't overdo. Nobody who's lifting the ball deep in the lanes is doing okay. We could say Nate Purchase was the exception to the rule, but the rule says otherwise. You don't want to force it, you don't want to fly it, you just want to let the ball slide. And if you still are packing your bowling balls in the car, make sure to bring some balls with higher RG, lower differential. Most probably you can forget the Aberlons in the house. Nothing's going to happen if you forget them. And if you have already packed, when you stop to refuel, you can throw the Aberlons into the trash. And yeah, you know me, it's my sense of humor. No, sorry, sense of humor. And I just carry on. We try to make it a little bit fun. Otherwise, you know, yeah, I'm not Randy Peterson. Obviously, I take a slightly different approach. So actually, that's a very nice product that we have in here from Krista Person's factory. It's a new stuff they come and they call it Scandinavian Sports Supply. I really like this company. They have a very amazing products to take care of the bowling balls. And actually the one I'm holding in my hand now is the shiny active ball. That's the one you want to bring into this competition. You can drop the 160, 120, 360, even 500 and the 1,000 Aberlons. You can leave them in the car. You're not going to use them. The urethane balls, you can also leave them in the car. They're not going to work unless you want to use them to make the lane a little bit longer on the warm-up, so you have some room later when you get back into that pair. So back into business. Let's see what goes on. Ethan Fury, double spare, triple. So he's on his way to try to gain the lead. The current leader still Hakim Tun from Malaysia with 175 over. Ethan Fury needs a 251 to tie that score, 252 to become the new leader. But Ethan can do it. I mean, he's not only super talented, but he seems to be quite well aligned with the lane, and specifically the strategy he's using. It's the smart one, it's the right one, it's the way it should be done. We see some people with the body language is telling us they are done, they have given up. As I said before, the pattern is pretty demanding. We have a lot of young bowlers in the lanes at the moment. 13 of them are from the Nässjö bowling school up in the north of Sweden, not in the north of Sweden, but a little bit up north from where we are at the moment. We're at the south of Sweden. 13 of these young talented kids. They're gonna learn a lot from this experience. They're gonna understand that the game has many different ways to be bowled, not only by giving surface to the ball, moving left and pushing it harder and harder. On the other hand, what they're going to learn this week is how to control and how to become a little bit weaker in their release and their hand positions. They don't want to overdo too much. And they're going to learn to do something different than they have been doing for the past 3, 4, 5 years, where it's very common to just give a lot of surface, grab a soft urethane, and go as hard as you can. Now, lane 9, Ethan Fury working on the 4th strike in a row. Let's see what he does. Yeah, he's really letting the ball go long. It's very, very good. It's amazing to witness. This kid is pure talent, no doubt about it. And not only talent in terms of technique, he can do whatever he wants, but smart, understanding the game, understanding what he wants to do and what he doesn't want to do. Uh, so far, we have no ball reps in the back for these guys of the PBA. Is it here? Uh-huh. Okay, my mistake. I thought they had no ball reps, so I was giving all the credits to Ethan. Hmm. Maybe he had a little bit of help. Maybe he had some talk with his ball rep as well to find out what was the best strategy or plan to do. But well, if he did, the ball rep did a great job. If he did it on his own, is more of what I was saying: pure talent, pure understanding of the game, and that always helps you score in pretty much any kind of condition you're going to face on. Mm. And yesterday we had the arrival of Barbara, right? Storm company owner. Uh, she has to do a lot now because since the passed away of Bill, it was pretty sad. He's done so much for the bowling industry. But it was nice to see Barbara coming along and finding the energy to travel. And she went golfing today. Yeah, she's on the golf course with the guys. Nice, 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 nice. Now let's back to the action on lane 10 with Ethan standing in front of the ball return. Definitely doing the 3 steps approach now, which he really masters. So let's see what he does. That looked very good again. Unbelievable. No lofting. No. Pure slide. Pure slide. Let the ball do the job for you. He's really good on that kind of bowling. He's really good on this. Not only very elegant and very nice to the eyes, but it's working very good for the ball as well. On the other hand, when we see those kids that are trying to find the solution by pushing it harder and increasing the speed, I think one of the things that is tricking them is that when they do the perfect shot, they manage to strike. So they believe, okay, it's all about doing the perfect shot. But when the pattern is so demanding and the room is so small as it is at the end of the day, it's not that easy to repeat the perfect shot. So it's going to be an eye opener for many of them. So they need to start working on a different strategy and learning to become weaker on the hand, learning to let the ball do the job instead. Maybe we should write down in our agenda for next year, do a special seminar on how to let the ball slide through the lane instead of lofting. Okay, so Ethan Fury now, it's a double, 8 spare, and 5 in a row. That's already at 240 pace. So he needs one more to get in the 250s pace. And if he managed to survive the 10th frame, which he has not on the last couple of games, that would put him already in the lead of the event. Obviously, if he strikes out, he's going to make it 278. and then we would finally break down the 1400 barrier that we have not achieved yet. Also on lanes 9 and 10, Matisse Blanchette, he seems to feel quite comfortable on game 6. It was the same yesterday. As soon as he moves pretty deep inside, he's got a lot of talent. Obviously, he's got the power. But let's see what Ethan can do on 9 frame. Amazing, 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 amazing. Now, if he just makes 9 spare strike, he's going to be the new leader of the event. If he strikes out, we're going to finally have our first 1400. So let's see what goes on. I have Daniel sitting nearby. Daniel, what do you think is going to happen on the... I'm not sure this one is working. I think it has been silent. On the bottom, you see the red one. That's channel number 2. There.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go. You think is he going to break it? Is he going to get into 1400 strikeout?
Well, I don't have that many seconds to answer that question, but I think he does it. It's just absolutely beautiful to watch him ball. He's doing everything right.
He's very...
He's
very
soft on the hand. It's just
exactly.
releasing the ball.
We saw that yesterday on Ryan Barnes. He was bowling a lot smoother than he did on squad 1, and he shot more than 200 pins more than the day before. And it looks like Ethan took a note on that and said, I'm going to do the same tomorrow. And he's really mastering.
Yeah, and if you see, actually, if you looking what Nate Purchase did yesterday, they are bowling pretty much the same line, but very different ways to get there.
Very different way.
Nate did it really good yesterday, throwing it a bit harder, straighter, and that seems to be what's working for all the higher scores. You don't want to cross that many boards.
No, exactly. You want to keep very stiff angles, go pretty straight into the pocket, don't cover as many boards, because the more boards you cover, the more issues you may find into. But the way Nate did it yesterday, it was pretty...
You see, Matisse is also doing the same thing, but in a totally different way. Not crossing that many boards. He's lofting the gutter, but it's still is straight down.
Now, let's see what Ethan managed to do on 10 frame. He's looking for the 1400s now. Oh, he missed left. Missed a lot left this time. Oh, and that... Well, he still needs a spare for a 250. We said 251 would tie him into the first spot. 252 would put him on the lead. Let's hope he does not get his 3rd game in a row with an open frame on the 10th frame.
Yeah, leaving the...
That's not an easy spare.
136.
I wouldn't like to have that spare at the moment.
He does it
nicely done.
The right way. He's just straight on from the left side, no backup.
Very nicely done. He's going to shoot 255 with a strike. And if he does that, he's going to be the new total leader of the event with 179 over. But yet we don't break the 1400 barrier. There's no...
Well, in the first event in Malmö 2017, we didn't have anyone. It was actually 178 over was the leader. Yeah. I think we're going to break 1400 this year. I'm pretty confident we will, but it's not going to be that many, I don't think.
It's pretty full on the squads, right?
Yes, all the remaining squads are full.
All the remaining squads are full. Okay, that's good. Otherwise, I said I'm going to have to sign up and somebody can make the 1400 at the end. That's why I'm happy it's no squads left, so I don't have to prove myself wrong even after the warm-up.
Yes.
That was a very beautiful shot now by Ethan Fury. Jokes apart, it was unbelievable to witness. 1379, he's now the new leader of the event. I'm gonna have to go fast out there, do an interview.
And you need to find someone that can hold the camera, because the cameraman is out doing some shopping.
All right, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit of work on my own. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna leave everybody for a while. We will be back at 2 o'clock with the second squad. And thank you everybody for watching. Let me remind you one last time to subscribe into our YouTube channel if you have not done yet. It's going to be a lot more content going on during the year, and it's going to remain for free. But for that, we need every single body to subscribe. You just have to click on the button. And that's all for the moment. I'll be back with the next squad at 2 o'clock. Goodbye, everybody. Enjoy your bowling.